is a Bramble Jam podcast. Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Marvel Mondays.
Hi, I'm Ryan, and I like Marvel Mondays.
I can't lie to you. I'm Dan, and I love Marvel Mondays, and this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Oh, boy.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Marvel
Man,
Monday.
How are you guys recovering from Bramblefest?
Dude.
I know it's confusing because our Eternals episode that we recorded at Bramblefest is coming out next week, and so it's
Next
gonna
week.
like I know that it's confusing, but
But when we recorded that, we had watched this because we didn't want to go out of order. We
didn't
just
wanna
had
go-
not
right.
recorded the episode.
right,
yet.
it felt like
That'd be
it felt like the
sacrilegious.
Eternals would lend itself better
What
to a
was your
live
big
show.
Bramblefest moment this year, right, guy? What was it?
Whew, that was good Bramblefest. I mean, the fact that you shot 102 at the golf tournament, Dan, was a real shocker.
In a 12-hole par 3 tournament
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Mathematically,
That's
Yeah.
almost 10 strokes a hole, right, guy?
Did
Day
you
at the
guys
office
not do
for
the
you.
cap? You didn't cap it?
Yeah, not as
once
a-
you
You
get the
said
10,
everybody but me.
Everybody
I'll
but
take
me.
care
I'll
of
do it. Yeah.
I
Once
want
you-
to look impressive in front of the Hall Stars, and
once you hit your 10th, you don't just pick up on that course.
On a par 3 at 6, I'm picking up.
At
Yeah, I'm not
right.
messing around
So,
at 8 or 9.
a 12 hole.
102.
So,
Yeah.
I just thought that it was really impressive that you kept going.
Yeah,
So,
you know,
good
no,
for you, man.
I persevered.
I know that you probably heard this story while you were down here, but the golf course, the par 3, is called Threes Greenville.
That's right.
And
Yes.
it recently, within the past few years,
That's right.
rebranded to be Threes Greenville.
It used to be an
a full
18-hole par
normal
3
boy.
course, normal, and this company bought it.
Yes.
and said we're going to revolutionize the game of golf.
That's what
And
they said that on the big net
Sign,
back
yeah.
there. It just said Threes Greenville revolutionizing the game of golf.
And what that meant was take 6 holes out and make an area for like chipping games and stuff that no one ever uses.
No one ever uses.
Make a giant putting green that's got a lot of big undulations in it that you have to pay extra for, and then have really solid bar food.
There was promise.
And the last thing is true. You need to actually try the smash burger at
Oh,
Threes
great,
Greenville.
okay.
It's probably one of the better burgers
There
in
was
Greenville.
talk that they were going to make the area, that bar area, and the clubhouse 2 stories.
And you could hit off the top.
And you could hit off the top.
And they
like
never did
Topgolf.
that.
That's
Yeah.
a cute idea. I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds like they've accomplished their mission statement. They've revolutionized.
You
I
the
don't
game
know,
of
man.
golf.
Revolutionized
No,
golf.
whenever I show up there to play, I'm like $30 for 12 holes. Something got lost in the mail.
Yeah.
Like that's a
I
lot.
mean, it's like $4 a hole, right? No.
No, not even close.
They
It's
got
like
some-
$2.50 a hole.
They got
Yes.
some
I
funding.
mean, an even better deal.
They got some
a steal.
funding. They got some funding from Justin Timberlake during that.
Wow.
Yeah, did you not know that?
No.
Yeah, Justin
Oh,
Timberlake's
is that in
investment
relation to
firm.
the restaurant with him and Tiger Woods? Are there two different
I
things?
thought you were
different
doing
things.
a bit. I thought you were setting me up.
No. It's like his investment firm gave for some reason
Great.
invested in Threes Greenville. So also they had a concert out there not too long
That's
ago.
right. Bill Murray's band performed live at this golf course.
for like 20 people at like $500 a pop.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not
mean-
big enough to hold like a full, like it's tiny. Like you wouldn't be able to have like a real concert there.
I heard he loved the smash burger, though.
Yeah, I'm
That's-
sure he
Bill
loved the
loves
smash
it.
burger.
Bill loves
That's
it.
right.
We're
Yeah.
talking Shang-Chi today. You told me, Dan, that Shang-Chi's coming back for Doomsday. Is that-
Shang-Chi will be in Doomsday, yes.
He's on the poster.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I have not
Yeah.
seen the poster.
And also, this is a little bit of my What a Marvel, but since we're here and we're family, the guy that directed this movie, Destin Cretton, he directed the new Spider-Man Brand New Day,
Oh.
which also features an Asian martial arts tinged theme to it. The Hand, which is a martial arts group in the comics, is one of the bad guys in Brand New Day. So some of the fighting sequences, if you love them, expect a similar look.
What are
in
the
Brand New
odds
Day.
that at some point in Brand New Day somebody says talk to the hand?
Zero.
No,
I mean,
5%.
non-zero.
5%.
Okay.
His
Yeah.
buddy could do it.
By the
Yes.
way, this was not my What a Marvel, but just another fun fact before you tell us where it premiered, Bran.
Yeah.
This fellow was also supposed to direct Kang Dynasty if that movie had come to exist.
Yes. He like directed an indie called Short Term 12 that's excellent. He directed one of my favorite movies of all time that's super underrated with Michael B. Jordan called Just Mercy, that I think should be required viewing for everyone before they turn 21. I just think you should know the information in Just Mercy. And yeah, he's a really good director. I'm a big fan. Yeah.
This movie did premiere on August 16th at Hollywood, Los Angeles. That's the only, that's
They got Hollywood.
They got Hollywood.
They booked
I
Hollywood.
think that's a par 3 12 hole.
They're revolutionizing the movie business.
And then everywhere else on September 3rd, 2021. I believe they've at this point back to theaters before going to Disney Plus.
No Disney
No, but it was
Plus.
close. I think it was a
close.
30-day. It was a close one.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think
It's almost like they could have pushed everything back 3 months.
Well,
And yeah.
we could have, but we didn't.
We got to get Eternals out before the end of the year.
We'll talk about save it for next week, or tomorrow, or 2 days ago. However you want to.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter to me. And it went a little something like this. So 1,000 years ago, a guy named Xu Wenwu discovers these mystical 10 rings, which give you these crazy powers, including immortality.
Immortality. You said it like you've never heard of the word or said it before.
Mortality?
I'll take
You get mortality from that?
Can I get tality? But can I get a little more tality?
more.
Yeah.
Little
Just get
more.
a touch more of that
Touch more of that
please.
tality. Thank you very much. He gains crazy power and wealth for the next 1,000 years. In 1996, Wenwu searches for Ta Lo, which is a village said to have a mythical beast inside of it. So he travels through this crazy forest to the village entrance and is stopped by Ying Li. They flirt via fighting, as you do sometimes, and they fall in love. They end up having 2 kids, Shang-Chi and Xialing, I believe?
Xialing.
Yes. In the present day, Shang-Chi works as a parking valet in the US of A with his best friend Katy.
Parking in the USA.
That's exactly
Sorry, it's right there. Go ahead. Parking in the USA.
So
Parking in the USA.
So one day they're attacked on a bus by some people who steal a pendant that Shang-Chi has around his neck that he was given to him by his mom. We find out that Ta Lo, the villagers, rejected Wenwu back in the day, so Li chose to leave her village to start a life with him. Wenwu abandoned his organization, stopped doing all the bad things, locks away the 10 rings, but clearly something happens. Shang-Chi and Katy go to find Xialing because they assume it was the 10 rings that took the pendant and will go and find the matching one that his sister has. And so they find her at a secret fight club, we don't talk about it, which she founded after escaping Wenwu when she was a teenager. The 10 rings do attack the fight club and they do capture everybody. Shang-Chi, Katy, Xialing, they're all going with him. At the 10 rings compound, Wenwu uses the pendant to reveal a mystical map leading to Ta Lo. Wenwu explains that he had heard Li calling to him, believing that she is being held captive in Ta Lo behind a sealed gate. He plans to destroy the village and release his wife. But that's not possible because she's dead. When Shang-Chi was 7 years old, Li was murdered by some of Wenwu's enemies, the Iron Gang. So the dad's kind of nuts now, and they try to tell him, hey, mom's dead, and he's like, nah. And so they're like, we're not going to help you. They escape with the aid of, maybe you've heard of him, Trevor Slattery, an actor that we saw last in Iron Man 3?
Yes, correct.
And of course his mystical friend Morris, we love him, who guides him through the enchanted forest to Ta Lo. The group meet their mom's sister, Ying Nan, who makes sure that they are trained up. Wenwu and the Ten Rings arrive and attack Wenwu, and Wenwu overpowers Shang-Chi and attacks the gate that he thinks his wife is being held behind. Turns out it's not his wife. It is the Dweller in Darkness, this crazy creature thing. Wenwu saves Shang-Chi, but is killed by the Dweller in Darkness. He gives the rings over to Shang-Chi before he dies. Shang-Chi and company are able to stop the Dweller in Darkness, and afterwards Shang-Chi and Katy return to San Francisco, where no one believes their story of what had happened to them until the sorcerer Wong shows up and says, "Hey, I need to talk to you, and that would be really great for me and for you." And they walk out and everybody's like, "Oh, wow." And that, my friends, was
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. We did it.
We did do it. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll break this movie down here on
Back to Hallmark.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It's great to be here.
Yeah, it is.
With you, with everybody. I think it's really great. We're talking about Shang-Chi today. We're going to start with the hot take, so we're going to share exactly how we felt about this movie. We do not hold back, and I'll start with you, Rye Guy. Shang-Chi, yes, please?
Yeah. I saw this in theaters twice. Loved it. Hadn't watched it since until about, I think it was like last year. I was like, oh, I haven't seen that movie in a while. I should throw it back. I obviously had no idea we were doing this exercise a year later, so I probably would have held off in that case. But enjoyed it that time and enjoyed it again here on viewing number 4. I think Simu Liu is great, and not just because he's a massive Power Rangers fan and can quote every word from the episode.
That has
forever,
nothing
word
to do
for
with
word.
it. I swear
Yeah,
to God.
If my Power Rangers animated series ever comes to fruition, I think he'd be great for the lead. But neither here nor there. I also think that for me, Awkwafina can usually be hit or miss, but I think she mostly hits here, and I really enjoy her in this film. This holds up well for me. It works more than it doesn't. Like, the bus scene is excellent, and I guess it's good context for me. This should be no surprise given my love of Power Rangers, etc. I love martial arts films, and I think that this, by and large, we were talking a little bit about this last week, that in this era of the MCU, this hyper-specific next 4 or 5 films, maybe with the exception being Eternals, that they were all trying to be something.
That's
like,
right.
You know,
Yes.
a rom-com. And like, so I think this, out of the 3 examples I gave last week, this Multiverse of Madness, which is trying to be a horror film, and Thor Love and Thunder, which is trying to be a rom-com, I think this one lands the plane on what they're trying to do the best. I still don't think that for my liking, they commit as much as I would have liked them to. But I think that this is, you know, the martial arts influence, the action film influence that they're going for here is more present throughout this than it is of some of the following efforts. It loses its way for me, especially in the third act. Like, once we get to the CGI dragons, I just get a little checked out in this movie. And it's some of it's that classic Marvel CGI stuff just doesn't always hit for me. And then some of it's just like, man, I just wanted like a 10-minute like fight scene epic between Shang-Chi and his dad. So there's that. But listen, this movie was successful, and I don't think you can point to this as the beginning of the downturn of the MCU, because it wasn't. It made a lot of money. I think generally speaking, it's pretty well received. However, to my point from last week, if the exercise here is to just track the MCU as we go along, I talked about the intentionality from the MCU is gone. I think it's worth noting here that neither of these post-credit scenes, and this movie came out 5 years ago, have been followed up on at all. We have not seen Shang-Chi for a single frame in the MCU between now.
They'll fix it in Eternals. Don't worry, right, guy?
Yeah. And so, whereas, I mentioned last week, Spider-Man Far From Home, they mentioned the multiverse because they know that's where they're going. What you're going to start to see from these movies is that they introduce a lot of things. Captain Marvel is in this post-credit scene. I had no recollection of that, even though I watched it last year. And none of these things, by and large, end up materializing. Maybe they'll land that plane in December with Doomsday, but by and large, things start to get a little scatterbrained. But none of those reasons are reasons to dislike this movie, a movie that I like quite a bit, and I have 11th overall, Brand.
Very good. Yeah, I love this movie. I think that this movie is so much fun. I was thinking about my list and where to put Shang-Chi because if I'm
so
just
hard.
talking about like rewatchability and just going in for a good time, Shang-Chi's pretty high on my list.
Very high.
Yep.
Like this movie is so much fun. It is interesting for this exercise. I'm thinking a lot more about the tie-in to the Marvel franchise as a whole, and this movie just doesn't really. Like I could watch this and never have seen any other Marvel movie and be just fine.
100%.
And for a watchability standpoint, that ranks it really high. But for a Marvel exercise that we're doing, it kind of muddies the water a little bit for me. But I think that pretty much everybody in this movie is crushing it. I love Awkwafina, and I think that she's fantastic in this movie. The fight scenes, I think, are a ton of fun. I'm really excited now. I was already excited about Brand New Day, but now I'm
Destin,
even more,
Cretton,
even more excited. Like if we see,
He really doesn't miss as a director.
if we
Like,
see
he's
the
really
same
good.
type of martial arts type fights in Brand New Day, I'll be very excited about that. And I'm excited to hear. I didn't realize that Shang-Chi was already announced for Doomsday. I've been like, where the heck is Shang-Chi? And I'm happy that
Where's
he's
Icarus? You know.
well, he's in his son. Shang-Chi
My
is,
bad.
it's
Spoiler.
okay. It's a spoiler alert, sorry. Shang-Chi is
Where are the other
fantastic.
ones?
I love it. So I say all of that to say I ended up putting this movie at number 10 for me.
Okay. Basically same spot.
So yeah, but I love it, and this will be what, and it's a fun one to watch with your kids.
That's
too.
right.
Like,
Yeah, my kids loved it.
My kids also love this movie, so that also I think helps enhance the viewing as well when you're watching it with your kiddos, and they're not like constantly asking questions about the
Extended, yeah.
timeline and whatnots, because it just weighs it down. Like it makes it a lot harder for kids to track what's going on when they're having to worry about and it's harder for me as well. as a
Oh,
kid
dude,
at heart.
when my kids are asking questions nonstop, it's like I'm just like pausing. I'm just like,
But also
Well,
like
you see in Civil War.
yeah.
but also like I don't like I'm not that tuned in. Like a lot of stuff that they want to know. Like I'm like I don't know or I don't remember,
Yeah.
and it's just like this is just a fun movie.
Watch the
It's a
fight.
You
really
didn't even
fun-
know Grogu and Baby Yoda were the same guy.
I tell you,
Yeah. Tell me about this A-bomb.
Data.
Yeah, so this movie is a ton of fun. I think first and foremost, if you're trying to make a movie that works with a bag of popcorn at a movie theater, this movie's really great. I think it is as accessible a movie to the widest range of audience of any Marvel movie that's ever been made. It is the most accessible, easily entertaining movie Marvel has made. Now, does it hold any weight really in the MCU? No, it doesn't. And that does hurt it. Is it great for representation? Yes, it is. Is it a really fun, like, callback to a lot of different, not just to the martial arts genre, but to many different genres within the umbrella of martial arts? It is, including a groundbreaking film by Ying Li in 2001, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which they do with Michelle Yeoh and at the beginning of this film beautifully. So I say all that to say, I love the Tony Leung, Simu Liu dynamic. Tony Leung is like a absolute all-star of Asian filmmaking. Wong Kar-wai, one of the most famous Asian filmmakers in existence. In the Mood for Love with Tony Leung is an unbelievable movie. The fact that they got Tony Leung to be in this movie is an absolute boon for this movie. He is so much bigger in Asia than this movie. He as Simu Liu's dad, he's amazing. Simu Liu, also amazing. I'm with Rye Guy, though. When you said it, I don't even think you hit that point hard enough. As soon as all the monsters start coming out, I know that is another genre within Asian filmmaking that people are dying to see, and it's not full kaiju. It's very much its own thing. I just kind of lost interest at that point. So like up until the giant flying dragons and monsters, and really when Trevor introduces, what's his name? Old No-Face Buster. What's his name?
Marcus.
Yeah. So before that, this movie's like a top 3.
Morris.
Like
Dang
Morris, you were so close. No-Face Buster wasn't even near it.
Well, I see how you got there.
But I like that is not, once that happens, my kids get more invested, and I kind of am once removed from caring because it becomes very fantastical, and I didn't really care as much about that. Having said that, the fight scenes along the way, maybe it really wasn't about the movie. It was about the fight scenes we had along the way. So Tony Leung, Simu Liu, amazing. Fight scenes, great. Awkwafina, I think, like Awkwafina, by her own admission in interviews, would prefer to sit in her apartment, get high, and do voice work. And that is her word. Those are her words, not mine. And she phones in some voice work. Maybe even in that Descendants movie that was released last week. She phones in some voice work. Sometimes her voice work's amazing. Raya and the Last Dragon, I think it's amazing.
She's great.
She's a very gifted actor. The movie The Farewell,
that movie's high on my list to watch. I heard it's incredible.
She is on another level. I remember watching the movie going, why isn't, Awkwafina acting in these movies she's so good. And I think she's great in this movie. I think she does exactly what she's supposed to do in this movie. So I say all that to say the Asian representation, amazing. The martial arts, amazing. The last act loses me, and it also loses the thread of the MCU. And so those two things do hurt it. I have it right in the middle of the pack. I have it at 13, right behind Black Widow at 12. And those two movies, I think Shang-Chi's a higher watchability, and I think Black Widow matters more to the story as a whole. So yeah, that's where I got it.
It is time for all the feels. So we talk about what in this movie gives feels. I'll start with you, Rai.
Quick mention to the score. It's great. It's beautiful. I love it. The bus scene is probably the answer, but Dan, this is where the bus scene's incredible.
The bus scene's unreal.
But where you and I will differ, Bran, I think you might be with me on this. I think Morris rules. I
love Morris.
Yeah, I'm out on that, and that's fine.
I would die for Morris.
My kids are in the same boat as you two.
That guy rules.
Did they release Morris stuffies? Because
I had a Morris plush. I'd have it no longer. It got lost.
What happened?
In the move.
This was only 5 years ago.
I mean, he couldn't see Morris? Where we were. We couldn't see where we were going when we moved apartments.
Well, you've also gotten a dog since then too. So very well, dog could get it too.
He ripped his head off. He ripped Morris's head off. Yeah.
The amount of times a stuffed animal enters our house, and then next thing you know, a dog has it is. You can't. The number doesn't exist.
It's a high volume. But yeah, Morris is great. Morris better return in Doomsday, Brand.
Morris will not return
in Doomsday. It'll be a doomsday for all of us if he doesn't. Return.
That's right.
I'll be so sad. There is a bit in this movie that my kids love so much, and so I do want to shout it out. And they quote it all the time, but Awkwafina, she sets it up early in the movie where when she's like uncomfortable and not sure what to do, or is like in a weird situation, she just sings Hotel California. Yeah. And then she does it in one of the fight scenes. She just goes, on a dark desert highway, in the funny Awkwafina voice that only Awkwafina can do. Yeah. And my kids laugh so hard they asked to rewind it, which I don't think it's ever happened in a Marvel movie before. Then be like, "This is so funny. Can we rewatch this?" And they like say it all the time too. So I want to shout that out. That made me happy.
I love the tie-in to Iron Man 3 in this movie. I think Iron Man 3 is a really underrated movie.
But you don't like Morris,
and I think I don't like Morris. Believe it or not. The thing about the Mandarin, the character in the Iron Man comics, is pretty racist deal, right? And so that's why Iron Man 3 didn't want to touch this. Instead, let's create a fake British actor to make fun of the fact that people used to actually do this. And then what that does is Shang-Chi comes along and gives a proper Mandarin origin story, gives a proper Ten Rings villain origin story, and utilizes the fact that Iron Man 3 didn't want to touch it, and utilizes the character of Trevor so very well. And acknowledges, like it's like an acknowledgement that the comics were wrong here, and this movie was really right. And I don't know what pact Ben Kingsley signed with the devil. Like, he's been knighted. Ben Kingsley as Trevor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is a delight, and I don't know why he agreed to do it, but I'm thrilled that he did. And the fact that they made a Ten Rings origin story that's great and acknowledged the Iron Man 3 thing was the only time of the Marvel Universe, and I think it was really fun.
All right, very good. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll get to the Wait What and the What a Marvel here on
Deck the Hallmark.
We're back. everybody. Welcome back. We're talking Shang-Chi today on Marvel Monday. Let's get to the way what. So we're talking about what in a few minutes ago. What? I'll start with you, Red Guy.
I think Awkwafina is way too tough on Shang-Chi during and right after the bus scene. I get that she's upset.
But did you see what he just did?
Yeah, like at this point, he has no superpowers. He's just a really good fighter. At one point, she calls him a freak. Like, you're allowed to be upset that your friend withheld information from you, but like, he just saved your life, and like, plenty of people are skilled in the martial arts. Like, it's like, doesn't make him a freak.
That's interesting that you're saying that, because you called me a freak over Bramblefest weekend, and I did not appreciate it.
Yeah, on the mic.
On the mic. You
On
just kept
stage.
calling me a freak.
It was weird.
I think I did it twice, actually.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was uncalled for.
Roll the clip.
Hey, Ryan, do you want to come do something?
You're a freak, Bran. You're a big freak.
Hey, man, what's up with that?
That seems personal.
Yeah, I actually did it, but I didn't mention I did it twice in a row.
Yeah. I thought it was two separate occasions, but you just tried to pop them both in
I got
there.
over that quickly.
Man, cool.
So it's a really funny bit about Shang-Chi telling the very traumatic story of his past to Awkwafina on the plane, but like everyone would have heard him. Like he's like there's 30 people around. He's talking about how he killed a guy. Yeah. It's very funny, but it's not. Don't do this if you're trying to conceal your murder charge. Don't do this.
Really?
Yeah.
Good note.
Good enough. Yeah, that's good.
Last one for me. Listen, I really liked her in this film. But at a certain point, Awkwafina making it through the third act of this film with all that's going on,
her becoming an archer at the end of this movie is the biggest wait what of the movie.
She just learned how to be Katniss yesterday.
Yes.
I
don't care how much you have Hotel California memorized. You don't have a prayer
on a dark day.
I'm glad that she made it. But it doesn't.
Hawkeye's watching this movie like, what?
Dude, that's my whole thing.
This was a leverage play for Hawkeye season 2. They were like, we don't need you, man.
No kidding. Awkwafina, you know what I mean?
I love that. That's good.
Oh man, that's it for me. Holy moly.
I'm rolling this morning, guys.
Man, that's crazy. I'm not gonna be able to move on. I'm going to be thinking about that for the rest of the day. I only have one, and it's not a good one, so sorry about it. But I did get a little bit of a kick out of big battle scene, dragons about to bust out of this here cave. And he is trying to convince his dad, hey, mom's not there. Just mom's not there, and he is hearing it, and then he decides, you know what, I can't risk it. And he says, I need my wife. And to which Shang-Chi says back to his dad, who has been a really bad dad.
Murderous.
Took his kid to a place to see him
watch the murder,
watch a bunch of murders.
That's right.
Says to his dad, well, we need our dad. And I would say, Shang-Chi, no, you don't. You are better off without this guy in your life.
Yeah.
Call it a bold statement, but I think when your dad becomes who he has become, which is leading a crazy criminal organization and taking his 7-8-year-old son to see him kill a bunch of people, you don't need that guy. You're better off just living in LA, valeting cars, than this guy being around in your life. You don't need him.
Shang-Chi doesn't even know to not talk about the murder openly on a plane. Like this guy taught him nothing.
He taught him nothing of substance. No. You don't need that guy.
He said murder. Yeah, he said bomb right after. I'm just kidding.
You're better off without him, Shang-Chi. You don't need that guy. Dano?
Yeah, I only have two. One is Benedict Wong shows up at the end of this movie, who is from Doctor Strange.
Yes.
And he is supposed to be a cameo in this movie, and he could have gotten a supporting acting nod for how long he's on screen. He is on screen longer than some people in this movie. I've never seen a movie that's supposed to have a tag on it at the end, not a mid-credit scene, a tag on it last as long as this scene lasts. And it, to Ryan's point, it's a bridge to absolutely nowhere.
At least at the moment. Yeah.
I mean, this guy shows up, and if he come in and be like, We need you right now. And that was it. Then I'd have been like, okay. And then it didn't do anything, whatever. He does a full, they walk through, they make jokes. He does a thing in the bar. He's hanging out. And you're like, is there another act to this movie? No, Benedict Wong's just really chewing that scenery up. That was pretty crazy.
Has it been announced if Awkwafina is in Doomsday?
No,
Because like she walks,
It's just Simu, I
she
believe.
walks through the
With
portal
thing, yes.
with him.
Yeah.
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 And he says, I need you both to come with me.
Yeah, I wouldn't think too much about it.
dark.
Simu's father, Tony Leung, makes it a point of teaching his kids all of these different languages and making sure that his kids know English and blah, blah, blah. It's a big deal. Still weird to me that the guy that's been around for thousands of years, before the English language existed, returns to his ancient Chinese temple to his warriors and speaks to them in English. That was a weird bit for me. I thought if there was a place where we would definitely be speaking the old Mandarin that he grew up with, it would probably be at the ancient Chinese temple, but I guess not. I guess it's an all play and English rules the day. I found that to be kind of weird. That's all I got, Britt.
Especially since there are subtitles in this movie.
There are. Well, that's the thing
like,
is,
so why not there?
I really
Famously,
appreciated
the first 10 minutes of this movie.
You know who doesn't need to? You know who does need to know English is the kid you're going to send to America, who's your child. You know who doesn't? The martial arts warriors that are in masks and live in an ancient Chinese temple. That is useless information for them. They are trained to just do a job. Yeah. He's up there and he's like, what about English today? And it's not even mixed. He just is full English.
No. It is a really interesting choice for a movie that honors the language really well for 99% of the movie.
And to do it that one scene was crazy.
Yeah.
It was wild. Yeah. Good.
All right, bold. It's time for What a Marvel. It's time for us to say stuff. Rye Guy?
I haven't watched Eternals yet. I mean, I saw it in theaters years ago.
We reviewed it 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's crazy that you haven't watched it.
Yeah, I did that off the dome.
Wow.
And so I'm going to watch it retroactively.
Yeah. You did that whole live episode at Bramblefest having not seen the movie.
I'm really good at
wow,
you are really good. No one knew that.
Yeah,
no one
and
knew
so
that.
That's really my what a marvel at how impressive I did the other day at Bramblefest.
That's a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I mean my Marvel, what a Marvel even is just you've talked about it, right, guy, but it does seem like at this point Marvel is throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks, with no real plan. And I don't know how true that is. I would love to hear more about the post-in-game, this phase that we're in. Like, what was there a plan? Did they abandon the plan after
Chadwick Boseman died, I believe.
Okay, but even like during this, like, did they think that like Eternals was going to be a bigger hit, and then that would be a bigger part?
Here's what I think. And this is a pure guess.
It seems like for the next few years, they're just kind of juggling things, throwing stuff at the wall, and then they're like, well, let's do Doomsday, bring back Robert Downey, and steer
that's
the ship.
Definitely where it lands. I would also say keep in mind that Disney Plus shows are a massive priority at this point in 2021, and I think that it just became way over capacity for them.
I know I talked about this at Bramblefest for Eternals, but let's act like I didn't for a second. I appreciate, in theory, the idea that after Endgame you can't go bigger, and the move is to go like representation, intimate stories specific to a certain world. I think that was a decided move that they did. Endgame was the big end of this one era. So now let's get a Black Widow movie. Let's get a martial arts movie. Let's get Marvel's Watchmen, which is Eternals, and that is unfortunate in so many ways. Let's get this idea of going smaller makes sense to me. The problem is, to your point, is that it doesn't seem to be driving a bigger bus.
Yeah, where are we going?
It seems like these plates are spinning all independently of each other, and half of the fun, at least when it was good, I think Rye Guy would argue it was good the whole way through mostly, and I would say...
I mean, there's a few misses.
I would say it wasn't, but when it was on, those, the end of the movie left you ready to see the next one immediately. Whereas
and they always had a plan even when it was
correct.
bad.
So these movies, I think it's almost a credit to how good they are in spite of that. Like Black Widow and Shang-Chi are good movies for movies that you expect to contain, threads of a bigger universe, and they just really fundamentally don't. Maybe a little bit with Black Widow. They're really good movies still.
Yeah. But was there a plan to utilize Shang-Chi sooner?
I think Black Panther
I believe he was supposed to be, don't quote me on this. I believe, we're not going to talk too much about the Jonathan Majors thing, I imagine.
No, but that's a fair point. Yeah, it was supposed to be.
But I also believe that the Kang Dynasty movie, which again was supposed to be directed by this director, I believe Shang-Chi was supposed to be a major player in, if you believe certain internet conjecture.
That's fair. That's right. I do remember hearing that.
Ant-Man, Black Panther were all supposed to kind of fight Kang from what
and I believe
Jonathan Majors is amazing in that movie. So
he's the one thing about that movie that works.
100%.
Yeah, and I believe that if everything had stayed that course, and I think there was a lot of problems with that arc before all the Jonathan Majors drama, but I believe that Kang Dynasty would have come out last year.
That's right,
like in 2025,
before Doomsday Secret Wars. Yes.
Yeah. So granted, but so to answer your question, Brand, but with that said, none of this stuff in this movie directly ties into anything that they were slowly building with Kang. So who knows?
But also, it's so very clear that this didn't work because what's happening now is what you said. Which
you're absolutely right.
Let's get the gang back together.
Yeah.
Let's bring back the hits. This is how we know we're going to make our money. This is how we reset.
Steve Rogers is returning.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever. I'm still mad about that. I can't tell you how mad I am that Steve Rogers is coming back. I'm so mad.
Doomsday makes it feel like from 2020 to 2025 we goofed.
Well, the Russo brothers evolved, but said they've called it a reset. It's like, hey, listen, because it's them, I am giving the flexibility to say I want to see it before I say. And listen, if the movie's great and it ignores the last 5 years, well, I think we can say that there's a lot of misses in these last 5 years. So if the movie's great, maybe that's a fair trade. But Brian, your point's absolutely.
Listen, I'm more than happy for them to prove if they have a real reason to bring back Steve Rogers and they do this movie and it's a great movie, I'll be the first to tell you that. I don't want him to fail. I want him to do great work.
I'm going to be the first.
You will.
I'll be the first.
You'll be the first. Okay, my bad.
You don't know.
Fight over it. Well, no.
You don't know my.
You don't know.
No, Brian, we'll just give it to you, man.
We'll see.
Well,
we'll see.
We'll talk. We'll remind us.
What's
we'll bring
my
it back
what a
up.
Marvel you asked, Brand? Thank you so much.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
What's your one of Marvel?
So this movie is basically Star Wars. It's not kind of Star Wars. It is very much a big bad who has a magical power, has a son and a daughter, and the son has to defeat him, but somehow still wants to save him, to your point, even though he shouldn't because he's a murderer and a terrible person. He gets trained along, it is Star Wars. My what a Marvel is, Star Wars isn't an original story or property. And so was this the comic book story before Star Wars? This movie has so much in common. Black Panther has some moments that are Lion King, which is Hamlet, right? So this movie is basically martial arts Star Wars. I don't even know how you would say it. There's so much similar. It's very hard to even process that it is very, 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 very similar. But did Shang-Chi come first? Did this story exist in Shang-Chi before it existed in Star Wars? Or when were those comics written? I mean, this is all stuff I guess I could have looked up, but that's my What a Marvel.
Sure. That's really good. All right, next week, you'll get to hear the episode that we recorded at Bramblefest about Eternals, so you can look forward to that.
Of course.
It is a lot of fun. We already did. It was a hoot. Fun. It's a real hoot, so you're going to enjoy that. So come on back for that. Until then, maybe the first to wish you Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmarks of Bramble Jam podcast produced by Brandon Gray and that Greenville, South Carolina. For more information on the show, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. Follow us on the socials at Deck the Hallmark. Leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts to help others find the show and to help the show out financially. You can head over to Bramble Jam Plus, become a double-decker, find the best corner of the internet with ad-free podcasting, live video watch-alongs, movie chats, and so much more. All that at BrambleJamPlus.com.